Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh,
God. Chubs gone wild.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Chubs Gone Wild, episode 552, recorded on July 21st, 2024, where it is 106 degrees outside and bright and sunny as all get out.
It's the 22nd.
Oh, is it? No, okay. It is also 42 days till Labor Day, 101 days till Halloween, and 156 days until Christmas. Have you got your shopping done?
No, I usually, last year I got everything done on Black Friday.
Right. Well, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good day to, I guess, get those special deals. Yeah. What was I going to tell you? Yeah, no, I'm not even prepared yet. I don't even have my holiday cards yet or anything, so I'm just a little bit behind.
Yeah, we're doing the fake card thing, where you put pictures and they mail them out for you.
Oh, I like those. Yeah, those are good. I had a couple of those last year.
Mine being one of them.
Yeah, I was very surprised actually, and I think I got one from Daniel and Zach. I think they did one of those as well, which was pretty fun. Pretty fun. Yep, much better than having to sit there and address envelopes, I'm sure. Anyway, it is time to talk about Patreon. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like My Life in Fragments podcast, books, videos, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Sausage from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Phoenix Dave, Brother Sinatus, Kingsley, Kathy Bacon, Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame to find out how you can support our work for as little as $1 a month. And it is time for today's affirmation. Hopefully it's a good one. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and repeat after me. It is safe for me.
It is safe for me.
Speak up.
Speak up.
For myself.
For myself.
And claim my power.
And claim my power.
Is that right? It is safe for me to speak. No, there's a typo in that. Okay. It is safe for me to speak up for myself and claim my power. So it wasn't me. I wasn't reading it wrong.
Okay.
It was okay. But but it is. You can speak up and claim your power. And something that sometimes in the current political realm of things that we are kind of forgetting, that it is okay to speak up and claim your power. So there you go. And that was also done today in history on July 22nd, 1862, when President Abraham Lincoln informed his chief advisors and cabinet that he will issue a proclamation to free enslaved people, but adds that he will wait until the Union Army has achieved a substantial military victory to make the announcement. And that happened a short time later. Well, we may have accidentally celebrated something today without even knowing it. So we're going to find out with this wonderful list provided by checkday.com. And today is National Hammock Day. That would not work for me.
Oh, I
No.
would love to see you try to get into
Oh,
as well
I'm
as out
sure
of a
you
hammock.
would. Yep.
Oh my
I'd love
God,
to see you
I
to it
would
too.
I would feel. Oh, I can get in and out of one, but it's because I know how to get in and out of one. That's the only reason. But I would film it and I would put it on YouTube.
I'm sure you would.
You would be a sensation.
Ah, yeah, I'll end up on one of those fail army videos. Um, and I don't watch those at all. No. Mm-mm. It's also Lion's Share Day. Do you have the Lion's Share? You are a Leo, so kind of. National BLT Sandwich Day. Haven't had one of those in a long time.
Oh, I love them. I have them all. I don't have them all the time, but because we don't usually have bread in the house. But when we do, definitely BLT time. Yum.
They are good. I liked them when I was younger a lot. It's also National Mango Day. You know what? We ended up with mangoes. Mr. Larry Dean bought a thing of mangoes and asked me to split it with him, and he gave me a bunch of them. And that's when I realized that I don't know anything about mangoes and I don't really care for them. Although I do sometimes like the flavor mixed with something else.
Yeah, I don't like mangoes at all.
And I found that, as I said, I have a bunch of very beautiful mangoes. Would you like them? To numerous people, and they all said, no, I don't like mango. So
I don't get why people do. I think it tastes bad. And you can get bags of dried mangoes and stuff like that. And it's like, ugh, it's not going to help it.
No, not my favorite. National uh, Panache Fudge Day.
Is
Don't
that
know.
like a poop? Is that poop?
I have no idea. You know what? We have this wonderful thing here where I can actually look it up if I can actually get it to cooperate with me here.
Is that like a fancy shit?
Um, well, if it was, you would have known. I'm
Yeah, you're right.
sure because I know you like that stuff. Okay, some folks say the name originates from Mexican Spanish word for sugar. So you're making fun of Latin heritage there.
Of course I am, because that's the kind of person I am. Thank you for pointing that out.
While others argue the fudge is named after 1920s Boston Bruins player, so maybe not. Mark, I don't know how to pronounce that. There we go. How to pronounce this word? See if it'll actually do it.
Channel, how do you say it? Panucci.
Panucci.
The second syllable, both British and American pronunciations are similar here.
So it is Panucci fudge.
Oh, great.
Heard of it.
So you misled me and then made me become a racist.
There you go. That's right. Well, much like the people who follow Trump, who will, when they don't follow Trump, they will say, he made me become a racist. I didn't want to.
So you're comparing yourself to Trump.
No, I'm comparing.
You just did, because you misled
followers.
me. You misled me, and I'm one of your followers.
Well,
so.
hey, at least I oh, hold on.
Oh my God, what is it?
Okay, no, it's okay. It's okay.
It's not the Mexican population dialing in.
No, but
good.
It is somebody that would well, let's just say you wouldn't want to hear from them. All right. It's also National Rat Catchers Day, which is very bad if you are watching help me, House of Dragons, because most of them are dead. Yeah, if you're watching it, you know what I'm talking about. It's also National Pie Approximation Day. Nope, didn't do it. Spoonerism. Do you?
Oh, by the way,
yeah, go for it.
I just got a text, and it's Democrats now have $100 million on linked donations since Biden's exit. I told you that it would be double that today, if not more. And that's as of what? That's 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we still have half a day left. Okay, good.
There we go. This is what's happening. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yes, I
It is
know.
also Spoonerism Day. Do you know what that is?
I'm afraid that it would be something that would make me more of a racist, so I'll just say
No.
no.
It is a verbal error in which a speaker accidentally transposes the initial sounds or letters of two or more words, often to humorous effect, as in the sentence, "You have hissed the mystery lectures."
It's like,
Accidentally spoken instead of saying you've missed it, you've hissed it. Oh, I see. So you missed history and then you hissed mystery.
oh, I thought
So
it'd
it's
be
definitely right into place.
like Bradgelina, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
You know what mine is?
Him.
Ours is Suede
Oh,
because it's the first three letters of my name and then all the letters of his.
that's sweet.
It works out well. It works out well.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Well, he doesn't have the S, so it'd be, but his first initial is S, so it all works out.
Well, it works out better than if I were married to him because then it would be braid, and that just doesn't make sense. All right. Oh, and it's also summer leisure day. No, thank you.
Well, that could mean sitting inside and enjoying the air conditioning.
Oh, well, then that's fine. I did that.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. All right. Let's see. Where are we? We are here. Okay. It's time for birthdays. Let's see if we have any birthdays coming up. Probably, hopefully, a shorter list than last time. Goodness, so many people. Well, happy birthday to Jared. Today is Jared's birthday. Happy birthday to. I'm not even going to attempt that. Happy birthday, whoever you are. Also to Bear, Elisa, Mitchell, Molly, Sebastian, Ben, Chase, Joe, Jam and Joe. Yay. We have Josh posthumously. Happy birthday. Happy heavenly birthday, as some of them say, to my Uncle Mark, who passed away several years ago now. Happy birthday to Eric Bradley Ralph, author Nicola Cameron, and author Melanie Fletcher. Wonderful person. She was formerly of the Don't Quit Your Day Job podcast, and was instrumental in helping me get my first digital book published. So huge help, wonderful person. And also happy birthday to Nate, our local boy, Nate. All right.
Well, he's not local.
Well, in a greater scheme of things, but
he's within an hour. He's within an hour.
If you drive really fast. I was surprised how far up he is, actually.
It's Placerville. He's in Polk Pines. That's an hour.
Well, yeah, but well, anyway.
Did you know you can buy holy water on online?
How does it maintain the holes?
It's water.
Yeah.
Well, there's a cap on the top. What, you think holy water evaporates?
No, but it's got
the holiness evaporates.
It's got holes in it.
Okay, now you're making fun of the Christians, right?
I will own that one.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say that right there. All right. Oh, hey, we did get some feedback. And let's see. We're going to see if we can play this and it actually works. Let's give it a
Good morning, fellas. It's Moose. Thought I'd give you a call. You sounded so desperate to call when you made your last recording. Anyway, I was loving the show. Keep up the good work. You are doing a real service to all those that do not watch TV. I keep up with everything I need to know about TV without ever turning the damn thing on, which I haven't done in 2 years now. Anyway, bye, y'all.
Oh, that was sweet. Did you hear that? Okay.
Yeah, I heard it fine. I he's not watching TV. Wait, I'm shaking. Okay, I'm better. I'm better.
Actually, I understand that because there used to be a show that former podcasters who shall remain nameless did that was
Seder?
no, that poor
Okay.
um, that was completely dedicated to talking about soap operas. And I would listen to it and I could catch up on everything that happened that week on all the soap operas that I used to watch without having to watch the soap operas and sit there for 5 hours per soap opera and watch 10 minutes of content on each one of them. So I used to do that. So that's cool. So we're helping. We're doing things. That's
And
good.
that gives him more time to go out and get food and take
And
pictures.
exercise
Well, yeah, that goes without saying. But
feed
cool
the
food.
raccoons and the bunnies and yeah.
Oh, the
Very
bunnies
into
and
nature.
the raccoons. I want a raccoon. I'm going to set up a some cameras in the backyard because I know we have raccoons.
Yeah.
But Sean won't let them in the house.
Oh. Well, you can teach them how to clean and stuff.
Well, they do have little opposable thumbs.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's see. And then also in our feedback, we got a little note from Jay the Hunt Cub, who let us know that Halo has been canceled. And you tagged me as well on Facebook, letting me know that Halo has been canceled. I can't say I'm surprised.
Or
Um,
sorry.
well, yeah. I mean, if there's another, they're shopping it around. So if somebody else picks it up, I hope that they do a little bit of an overhaul. Well, okay, a big overhaul on the show and make it more interesting.
Entertaining.
Yeah. Because that's really just what we want. This is an action thing based off of a video game. We want we want some action and
Yeah. Hey, how about the dragons, huh? Huh? We had all that dragon action last week, and now all we see is a head and them talking about it. Oh, there's no social media, so everyone has to find out slowly over the next hour about the dragons.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. But anyway, so thank you guys so much for all your feedback. It really means a lot to us, especially since we've gone so long without much. Anyway, we want to send some chub hugs out, and I want to start with sending a huge chub hug out to Nephi, who had to see two plays this weekend.
Oh no.
I know we want it. We want it. I don't know whether that's a sympathetic chub hug or a uplifting chub hug, but
Or envious.
yeah, exactly.
Well, what were the two plays?
I knew you were going to ask that. So one of them was Sound of Music, and it was
Oh,
a local production.
okay.
And the other one was one of Agatha Christie's
And then there were none.
shows. I'm not sure. That sounds like it might have been the one, but I can.
Also local production.
I don't. I would imagine. Let's see. Yes,
Well,
actually, that's the one. And then there were none, and that says
so
yeah. So
so he does need a chub hug after the Sound of Music local production. I can't even imagine how horrible. I mean, if it depends. Was it like Music Circus or was it like
he
you
said
know
he said it was kind
community
of good.
theater?
It was community theater, and he said
Okay.
it was good, kind of a carbon copy of a version we saw at the opera a few months ago. Girl goes to the opera. Minus 99% of the budget and 50% of the talent. He said, but they did a really good job for community theater and
Well, I got to admit
yeah.
some some community theater is even better when it's kind of not good.
Uh-huh. I agree.
So
Yeah.
you know that whoever they had playing Girdle
Gretel.
was Girdle was probably just horrendous.
Yeah, yeah.
And that sometimes can make it and then you get, I wonder if they hissed when the boyfriend showed up.
Ah,
I've actually seen a show where audience members were hissing at him.
oh. Well, apparently Maria in this version was a redhead. So,
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Chub hugs out to him for that. Do you have any?
Well, just, the people that like, well, just everywhere, we get few days of not suffering and then 4 or 5 days of suffering through this heat. And I wished I could say it was just California, but it ain't. It's all over.
Yeah.
And we're going to have what they're predicting is the worst hurricane season ever
Uh,
in the Gulf of Mexico, East Coast area. Well, actually, that means probably coming up the side of Mexico, the west side, which means those kind of hit us sometimes
mm,
in a just a hot and humid nastiness way, but
yeah.
no real rain. But yeah, just the weather, and of course, there's no such thing as climate change.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Record highs year after year lately. All right. Well, in news, there is no greater news than Biden's out and Kamala is the presumptive nominee. So,
Well, now one thing that I was reading is that there's 10 states that have already set up ballots. Now,
yeah.
how can they do that when the Democratic convention has not even played out yet? I would think you can't. I mean, what happens if Biden stayed in and he changed his VP?
Right.
To me, it sounds like bullshit.
Yeah.
So, and actually, it sounds like unconstitutional.
Yeah, they're gonna and the crazies are gonna throw everything that they can, especially since they have all these legal battles because they can go right up to the Supreme Court who will kiss their ass on it. They will do everything they can to throw every wrench that they can into it. In fact, like you were talking about earlier, that fucker was talking about um, wanting to be reimbursed the money that he put out for his campaign. Yeah, whatever, whatever. But as I told you, and I told Nephi, I had a suspicion that he was going to be putting it out yesterday, that he was stepping aside. All signs pointed to that. The political shows that I watch, including David Pakman, was pointing to that. It's a good time, especially right after the convention, with JD Vance, um, who is just a big younger turd. And well, anyway, so he would have been the talk of this week, and now it's not. And now we don't have any of the oh, he's so old. I got so tired. You know what got old is listening to people talk about how old he was.
Well,
It,
now we're talking about how old Trump is.
yeah.
Because Trump technically is the oldest president ever to be running for president. Because Biden was never, he was the presumptuous nominee, but
Yeah.
he never was. You have to go to the convention. That's why these states that are claiming they've already printed ballots
Hmm.
is bullshit.
Yeah.
How can you print something when you don't even know who the nominee is?
Right. Yeah. It's bullshit. But Kamala is there, and well, I'm fine with that. I have said before I will vote for a paper bag before I will vote for Trump, and well, she's much better than a paper bag. She's never been one of my first picks, but I think that she will make a good president. So, how about you?
As far as what? I'm not endorsing anybody at this time. I'm waiting until the convention to see if we even have who knows what kind of switcheroo they might play. I can't imagine they would, considering that she now has the entire war chest that the Biden Harris thing had, and this $100 million that was just made in the last 24 hours. So I think it would be hard for them not to keep with her, but you never know. Stupidity, it's all around.
Yeah, and it really surprises me how some of our older, more you know, Democratic politicians who've been out there for decades upon decades are just making some really stupid decisions. So, anyway, all right, well, that's the news, folks. If you want to weigh in, feel free. You can send it to us at chubsgone.wild@gmail.com, or of course you can call our hotline, which you'll hear about.
408-69 Chubs.
Yeah, he picked up on that cue. All right, well, we have some celebrity deaths, unfortunately, starting with Eddie Rosenblatt, the respected music executive who partnered with David Geffen to launch Geffen Records, and then succeeded him as chair, died at age 89. Yvonne Fournoy, the glamorous actress who had been memorable performances in Michelangelo and Tonini's Leamachi. Hold on a moment, please. Okay, let's try that again. The glamorous actress who had memorable performances in Michelangelo Antonini's Leamache, Federico Fellini's La Dolce Vita, and Roman Polanski's Repulsion, died at age 98. There was a lot of names in that.
But you got some of them right, so that's good.
Some of them, it took me a second on yeah. Anyway, also Bob Newhart, the beloved stand-up performer whose droll deadpan humor showcased on two critically acclaimed CBS sitcoms vaulted him into the ranks of history's greatest comedians, has died. He was 94, and he was a great one.
Did you know that he won the Grammy for Best Record of the Year for his comedy album back in the 60s?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you've got Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin, and you've got Barbra Streisand. And Streisand might not have been available at that point, but you've got all the greats, and a comedy album came in and won Best Album of the Year. I think it's the only time it's happened. So, wow. and don't forget, for those of you who don't remember his TV show, just remember he played Will Ferrell's elf father in Elf. So he was the one that taught him how to fix the sleigh, and tried to finally had to tell him that he was an elf. He wasn't an elf, that he was human. So he was just a terrific performer.
He was.
And so but long lustrous career, 94 years old, not bad. Yeah,
and arguably one of the best closing bits of any series, any comedy series out there, when he closed his second show, Newhart, with it all being a dream, waking up next to his wife, Suzanne Plachette, from the first series that he did. Brilliant, absolute brilliance. So anyway, former WBA bantamweight champ Richie Sandoval passed away at the age of 63. Walter Shapiro died July 21st, was an American journalist, columnist, writer, and author, and actually was a politician, worked in politics as well for many, many years. I believe he covered 12 presidential campaigns. Esther Terblanche, the South African actress known for her work on All My Children, has died. She was 51. Xing Pei, martial arts icon who starred in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, died at age 78. Oh, okay. What's going on here? Am I back? Are you back? Are they back?
I was never gone.
Okay. Well, hopefully it just didn't connect, but well, it seems that my new computer has developed this thing that when somebody turns on and off the bathroom light, that the whole computer does this blinking in and out thing. So that's fun. Moving on. I feel interrupted now. Sheila Jackson Lee died on July 19th. She was the American lawyer and politician who was the U.S. representative for Texas 18th Congressional District from 1995 until her death in 2024.
You forgot the chef from Top Chef.
Oh, thank you for that. Chef Naomi Pomeroy, who was known for competing on the third season of Top Chef Masters in 2011, and for her award-winning restaurants, died in a tragic water recreation accident. She was 49. I believe it was an inner tubing or something. So that's very sad. Very young too. All right, and now Tom wants to talk to you about.
Well, now for those of you that are following Dinner with David Chang and are wondering why he has not had a new episode the last couple weeks, he's on hiatus or vacation or something. I don't know what it is. He's scheduled to come back on the 31st, so expect that not tomorrow. Let's see, where are we? 20. It'll be on the next week. So, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward. It's they do live at 4 p.m. West Coast time, 7 o'clock East Coast time on Netflix. But an hour later, you can see it, anyway. So you don't have to watch it live, but it is available live. Let's see. Evil was very fun this week. It dealt with their storyline of the week was there is a chatbot that is meant for you to be able to talk to loved ones that have passed. So what happens is you download the software and then allow the software to search your computer for things that had to do with that person. Like phone, like messages that you might have on your phone. So they can copy the voice. They can find out what the relationship just by the things that were sent to each other, emails, and it's really creepy. And then they'll call you up and you can talk to them on phone. But what was happening was you could also, if you went on FaceTime, and you held the phone back, they could be in the room with you too. It was really creepy. But what was happening was that something was happening. They thought it was possessed because it would be like, you're talking to somebody and then all of a sudden they start speaking in Latin and call you a whore and you're evil and I hate you and you're going to die. And so they were, the priests and the psychologists were called in to find out why the software is doing what it's doing. Is it really possessed? And so, and the end of it was, they decided that they're going to bring it out anyway, because with all the AI that's coming out, they didn't want to get beaten out on, because this is actually a real service that they've got out there. That, I mean, imagine, I tried to get a hold of my mother and somehow they figured out her voice, and it would have to be somebody closer to this time, when there were cell phones and stuff. But creepy. It was creepy. Let's see. Oh, that's with you. Are we talking? We're talking the boyfriends together as well. Trust finished last week on Netflix. It was kind of fun. It starts off, there's $250,000 and there's 12 people, and if they want, they could do nothing, and at the end of the show, if they're all there, they get to split the money. But they started getting rid of people to make their money more, to get a bigger cut. So it's kind of like Will Greed, force these people, to come out and 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 eliminate each other, and they did. Actually, a few of them it didn't, but a couple it did, and they were really running the place.
Hmm.
Let's see. On The Gentleman, this is over on Netflix as well. It's a Guy Ritchie show that just picked up at least one Oscar nomination for him as director. Is just dealing with this rich British family, uh, two brothers. One brother is like really steady, and he's cool, and the other brother is the coke snorting gambler, who is constantly getting the family in trouble at every turn. And it's like the whole time I'm just screaming, kill the brother and all this will be over with. And they just don't do it. So um, let's see. I'm still working on. Okay, you remember I was doing Farmhouse Fixers, Campground, the one with Jonathan Knight. That's where him and his husband were redoing a campground up in, I guess it was New Hampshire, and so we finished that, and now we're watching Farmhouse Fixers. This is the series he had before, where he's just him and a designer go in and they completely rework 200-year-old farmhouses in New England. And of course, it never fails. He goes in and goes, well, it should be about $100,000 on this one. And then he goes, okay, we've looked underneath it, and half the house is about ready to fold into pieces. So we need to take out that piece completely. We have to reset it, because the foundation was sitting on like rocks and soil. It was never a firm foundation when they put it in. So it's going to be another $100,000. Oh my God! So they're pretty funny shows. Claim to Fame is with the Jonas Brothers, not the famous Jonas Brothers, but the non-famous Jonas Brothers. And their claim to fame, and what they do is they have all these people on the show that are only famous because they're Tom Hanks's niece, or they're, that type of thing. And the third person that got sent off was this girl. She ended up being John Cryer's niece. And so when she was waiting for the car to come pick her up, it ended up being John Cryer in a limousine came to pick her up. So I thought that was really funny, because it's Los Angeles. So he said, I'll just pick her up, and came over, which I thought was cool. The Emmys this week were kind of interesting, because even though like Shogun is not a Hulu original, but it's where those shows go once they play on, they play where they are at, and they play on Hulu. So Hulu ended up being the big winner for like the first time that HBO hasn't been in a long time, because they have Shogun, they have The Bear, they had Capote and the Seven Swans, they had just one after another of shows that may not have been their original shows, but it was they streamed through them. So Hulu's got all these nominations, and it was kind of crazy. Interesting, Shogun and The Bear got the most nominations in dramatic and comedy category of all times. Which I thought really 25 was a lot. Yeah, I know it's a lot of nominations for Shogun, but I was really surprised that with the Game of Thrones, and with the one that just was that terrible drama that I did not like, they were picking up nominations all the time, because they had all the they either had a lot of special effects nominations, like the one, or they had all the acting nominations. So interesting. Let's see. That's what I'll talk to you about. Artie Tex this week, he was showing the difference between a burrito and a mission burrito. Now, if you're making a burrito, what do you put in the burrito?
I don't know. Meat, cheese, salsa. I used to put refried beans in, but I don't anymore.
Well, that's that's more of a burrito, a traditional burrito. Now, the Mission burrito, a Mission burrito was actually from the Mission area in San Francisco, and that's where you put in the meat, the cheese, the salsa, the beans, the rice, the sour cream, the guacamole, and then you fold it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because if I'm having a regular, I'm making myself a burrito, it's meat and cheese and onions. And I wrap that up. And if I want guacamole to dip into it or sour cream, I usually don't put it inside because I don't want, maybe it's just me. I don't like hot ingredients being cooled off by my cold ingredients and vice versa. So, but I thought I didn't know that a Mission burrito was based on a burrito made in San Francisco back during the 70s. And that this is because you go to Carolinas, which is, like a half a block from your house. They only serve, their big thing is the Mission burrito. So, I mean, all their burritos are made that way. It may not be the same ingredients. It may be eggs, French fries, sausage, and then the beans, the rice, and everything else, and it's a breakfast burrito. But if they can, the thing is, if they can shove more rice and beans that are cheap, they can serve you less meat and cheese. So interesting. Let's see. The Who's Tommy closed on Broadway. It was just in previews when I was there, so it just closed. And we got Illinois closing in 2 or 3 weeks now. So that's interesting. I did see Twisters this week, which is at theaters, and it has nothing to do with the original Twisters. There's one actor that's in both of them, but he's not playing the same role. So it's like, the people we could have gotten in here didn't want to do a cameo. So, actually, quite a few of them are dead because you had Philip Seymour Hoffman and you had Will Paxton and Helen Hunt tried to get this movie made, and then they went around her, so she didn't want to do it. So, you kind of lost out on all your celebrities that you could possibly use. But it was very good. One thing that's kind of cool is, when you're at Century or you're at the Cinemark theaters, and there's those seats that move in the center that you have to pay extra for. Have you seen those? They're orange seats right in the center. Okay. Well, what happens is those are the XL seats or XD seats or something like that. And basically, like if there's movement on the screen, the chairs move. And when the tornadoes are coming, the seats are rumbling and, shaking. Well, we always get the seats right next to those seats because I don't want to be flung around for 2 hours, but I don't mind a little of the grumble to give me a little scare factor. But yeah, I would not want to do the thank you. Oh yeah, very old. I wouldn't want to do the full thing because I don't like roller coasters because they make me kind of bleh. So why would I sit in one of those chairs for 2 hours and feeling, because I actually saw them at one point, they shifted back. That would freak me out. But and just to compare both hands, here we go. They're both looking good.
Yeah.
This one's got a little dark area right down here, but that's where the stitch was. So, but otherwise, I'm not having as much. Well, my hands aren't falling asleep at night, which was it was the deterrent that sent me to the doctor to begin with, because my hands would fall asleep, and so when your hands fall asleep and you roll over, and then your hands tingle, and then they wake up. Well, mine would just burn until I got up. Burn like they were on fire. It even felt like they were hot. Even though I know they couldn't have been hot, but so that's good. That's good. It's good to have it done. But I don't want to do any more surgeries this year. This is my third one.
Yeah.
And
good things. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it was nothing that was life, something I had to do because if not, I was going to die. But still, it really takes it out of you, girl. It takes it out of you.
Yeah.
So, Let's talk about mutual shows. RuPaul's Drag Race. So this week was they had the mini makeover challenge for one of the crew members,
Yeah.
and then that was followed by them preparing for the talent contest. Pretty much the whole show. Oh, except for when they go in and talk to Ru, and that's where they praise Ru and then they cry.
Yeah.
But and I said to other podcasters that I talked to that honestly, if you go in and you talk to RuPaul, and RuPaul, I know is probably very friendly, but RuPaul's still the creme de la creme, not to be confused with creme de la creme, but um, there would not be drag today like it is if there was no RuPaul. I don't know that there would have been somebody else that would have done it, or because think of another drag queen that has the
crossover appeal that she did.
Well, just anything that she does. I mean, that could. I mean, I know that they could. A lot of them can handle hosting a show because we see that on the pit stop. And there's and Bianca is a star around the world, but I don't think she'd want to host the RuPaul show and bring on new drag queens. She wants fewer drag queens, because she doesn't want the competition. But I think it, if you look at it, if it's got to be pretty overwhelming being in the same room with somebody like RuPaul.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What'd you think of the comp?
I thought it was really fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it's always interesting when they show the rough parts of them starting to dance and the song and stuff, and you're like, oh god, this is going to be a flop. And then when you finally get to see the polished version, and it's like, wow. So
well, yeah, I mean,
that.
And I think something that a lot of people forget is that you look at Chanel and you look at Roxy, they have been around a long time, and I don't mean that as a joke. I mean they've been around a long time. They've done it all basically, and I love the fact that they're going, okay, look, you know what I don't do? I don't do backflips. Okay, I command the stage in a lip sync, and that's how I get the job done. I don't need to do splits. I don't need to do cartwheels. And it's like, okay, that's good. And then the others that can, it's like you utilize what you're good at. What are your strengths? And I that's what I love about the show. And I so I don't know who is going to win, especially with the beneficiary pins, a beautiful beneficiary pin buttons, badges. They're going to get 3 for this competition, and then somebody is going to double whatever they had. And that's either going to be, it looks like it's either going to be Roxy or Nina. And Nina's got 2, but Roxy's got 10. So they said, we'll have 5 and we'll have 10 if she gets it doubled. And a lot of people are going, well, that way you get Roxy in, she's out of nothing to worry about. Then I'm just competing with the other bitches. And it's like, no. Do not put Roxy up there, because if she wins, and she could end up with 13 badges, and everybody else is still sitting with their fingers up their butts.
Yeah. And deserve. So I mean, they're all really good, but you can kind of tell now that there's a few that are really stepping out and kind of taking the lead.
Well, yeah, I'm really surprised that Gottmik is waning instead of she's usually power forward at this point. And then you've got Chanel, who was kind of was in the bottom forever, and now she's right up there in the pack again.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, it's hard to say what's going to happen, because as Ru put, anybody could win this.
Right. Yeah. I'm just wondering if maybe since they aren't even though that they're all trying to win and everything, that since they aren't being voted off every week, if that has made some of them kind of pull their punches, or rest on their laurels or whatever a bit there. So I don't know, but I'm still enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next week, which is going to be the last episode of this season. So anyway, next is Star Wars Acolyte, which I did not watch this week.
Oh my God, it's the last episode of the season, and you didn't watch.
Well,
Really?
no, but I will watch it happily, knowing that it is the last episode.
Oh my God, I didn't watch it either.
Okay, well, there we go. But the last episode of the season for the boys, season 4, played, and wow, that there was, when something is both good and yet leaves you kind of at the same time, you're just like, no, it was really, really good. You should watch it. But at the same time, going, So
It's called a cliffhanger, girlfriend.
yeah, well, there was just too much going on, too many loose ends, and um,
Cliffhanger.
yeah, the whole cliffhanger setup for the next season. I don't know, it just kind of left me feeling annoyed. And I like a good cliffhanger as long as I know a show's coming back. But at the same time, this one was just like, really, after all that bullshit, and seeing main characters being completely offed and everything else, and can't you just give him a little bit of a break there, a little bit of happiness? Oh, and when Starlight was mad over what happened with Huey, I was just like, are you fucking serious? You're beating him up and he's the one apologizing, and it's like, uh he had no fucking clue. I mean, come on. Anyway, I don't want to give away the spoiler in case somebody hasn't really watched it yet, because it is just kind of freshly out. But I was just like, that's bullshit. You cannot
Well,
hold that
yeah,
against him.
I mean, to me, it was like, well, you had to give it a big cliffhanger, and that would be a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
They don't want to commit because they don't know what's happening in the election. So,
Well, and this was so parallel to all the bullshit going on now. And that's another thing. It was just a little bit much for me because it was just too damn parallel. So yeah. Anyway, but it's still a really good show. They did a really good job, and I'm looking forward to it coming back and seeing more. And hopefully my palate will be cleansed from all the gore and stuff from this season. And there was a lot. Let's see. Next up was House of Dragons, and this was very much of a interesting transition episode where, the episode before, like you said, there was a lot of action, and this one was kind of more the posturing and contemplating and seeing what's going on. But at the end, they actually did have some action going on, and
what happened? I don't remember. I was too bored.
it's when the two queens were suddenly becoming under attack by the the by the people, because Rhaenyra or whatever sent them food, and they said the real queen is she's lodging after us still, even in exile, and so let's go kill these two queens that are out in the public. So yeah, thankfully they didn't, but they did have them cornered, and so, but yeah.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to when Scarface there gets his comeuppance.
Well, that probably will be after the cliffhanger this season. It looks like he's going to be a continuing bad guy for a while.
Yeah, I imagine until they decide to close the series, he'll probably won't get his full comeuppance. But I'm looking forward to it. So, anyway, it's still good though. I'm enjoying it, and I guess we're probably nearing the finale, aren't we?
No, I think we've still got 3 or 4 episodes left.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. It'll give us something to watch since the rest of these are closing off. I did not watch The Bachelorette this week, so go for it.
Well, I watched The Bachelorette,
Mhm.
and it was, well, I just wish we weren't. I mean, we're already bickering on this was episode 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're bickering. They're in Australia, and they're bickering because Devin's a douchebag, and then a couple of the other guys are assholes, and and uh, and it's just gotten to the point. I'll tell you, if I were Jen, I would start eliminating people during the episode. As soon as somebody pissed me off, I'd go, "Hey, Jesse, I'm letting this person go because I'm the bachelorette and I can do anything I want, right? That's the way we always say it.
Yeah.
Okay,
But we'll encourage you to let the drama play out.
let's just say I might not have anybody to let go tonight at the cocktail party. Might just be a cocktail party.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see a bachelorette come in and just at the thing at the car. Those two would have gone home right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
As soon as they started posturing for a knife fight, I was like, okay, I'm done here. I don't need to do that. I can't believe she sat in the car with the guy, knowing that wasn't his car, and he was trying to get her to drive somebody else's car. I would have been pissed.
That guy would have been the one that went home.
They're all, anybody that pulls any shit, we're gonna send home.
That would make a boring show, though.
Yeah, no, it won't. It'll make for like, I can just see it. Episode 4. Hey, Jesse, can you come here a minute? And then everyone starts shaking, like, oh my God, who's she getting rid of now? And I think that would make for a really good show. Maybe that's what I'll do. And you're not watching. You didn't list the boyfriends. How far did you?
I haven't gotten back to it yet. I want to this week.
Okay, because we're only through 6 episodes, and they released 2 more this week and 2 more next week.
Oh,
but it's over on Netflix. It's a Japanese dating show for men, and they have, I guess, 5 people that are the overlookers that are commenting on what's going on, which I thought it was going to be irritating. Now I'm kind of I find that I like them. Only it's so weird because they are so out of the realm of I think a lot of people in this country are going to find it really boring because I'm 6 episodes in and I don't think anybody's kissed yet.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised, but and
it's like, and I'm just wondering, is because the one guy that's from Brazil, have you met him yet? Alan?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, he's Brazilian Japanese, so.
Oh yeah, no, I remember.
Yeah, so and he's very open. He's kind of like the way you'd expect a gay guy in this country to be, and the rest of them are like, oh no, I cannot do that, and it's just they're all acting like geishas, oh no, the schoolgirl that can't, I don't know, it's just, I'm surprised
I think it's probably part of that is because they're on TV and they don't want to embarrass their families or bring any, anything like that. But I understand what you're saying.
Why but you're on TV acting, you're not acting, you're on TV calling yourself a homosexual.
Right.
I don't know. I'm surprised that it's so that there's such a holdback on being gay and accepting and it's weird. I mean, it's a culture shock. That's all. And it's not. And I'll tell you, I watched 4 episodes in a row. That's how compelling it actually kind of is. And I do like the Go-Go Boy.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I don't like him, but I like the fact that they go, so what do you do? And he goes, oh, I'm a Go-Go Boy. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh, they actually pay Go-Go Boys? That's weird. I
think the 34-year-old, I think he was either first or second into the house. He's got the kind of beard look.
Oh yeah.
He is adorable.
Yeah, and then the guy who's the cook, he's a chef.
Yeah,
I like him a lot, and so does everybody else.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of interesting. And there's this one guy that at the very beginning that everybody loves, and I can't remember his name now, but he's got some emotional problems,
Oh,
some big time emotional problems, and because this one guy and him, they kind of are feeling it. They're kind of having a good time, and then he gets upset at him, and we don't know why. And so the guy sits down, and he's laying on the couch, and he puts his hand on his hip because he's kind of turned sideways. Puts his hand on his hip, and the guy picks up his hand and moves it off of him. And it's like, oh my god, this is like
huh.
this is like a girl who's mad at her boyfriend, like a 13, 14-year-old girl or 15, 16-year-old girl. I mean, it was so childish.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's an interesting show. I think that what I like about it is I'm really enjoying the culture shock. it's
Mhm.
making me it's making me talk, it's making me think. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I will catch up on that so we can talk more about it.
Okay.
All right. As for me for this week, well, I guess I will start with actually not too much going on. It's been kind of a weird little week, but thankfully kind of quiet. But starting with I watched Kingdom for the Planet of the Apes, which is the new one that was just went to streaming.
Wait, that's weird. It doesn't come out until next month on Hulu.
Well, that's weird because it's out, you can buy it and all that stuff.
Oh, I didn't realize you bought it. Okay, sorry.
Oh, well, I didn't say that. Anyway, but
Yeah.
it's a really good installment because of the newer set of the Planet of the Apes movies. It's a really good installment to that. It takes place in the future. Um, and this is, after the whole stuff with the Woody Harrelson movie and all that other stuff. This is much more in the future than that. And it was actually really good and really compelling, and compelling to the point where once you kind of get into what's going on and what the human because this is far after the apes have already taken over, and they have their own established they have their own culture established at the point where they have factions that are not even didn't even know the other faction kind of was there and what's going on. And humans are more kind of still legend than actually like something that you see regularly. But then when you see what the human uh, part of it, how do I say it? What their motivation is and what happens with that, it makes you kind of like question, like, I don't know which, if I had to pick a side in this, I'm not sure I would know which side to pick. um it's very thought provoking at the same time, but lots of action, lots of fun, great, good special effects. It's definitely just turn it on a Saturday or Sunday and watch a good movie. um And then I also watched the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, and that's the new one with Henry Cavill and a whole bunch of other fun people in it. And it's based on a true story, and from back in the Second World War, and it's got Churchill and all that other stuff in it, and the it's a really good action shoot 'em up, and you better like to see, you better like the action movies where everybody's getting shot and arrowed and everything else. But if are kind of like, well, I don't know if I really want to, it's really funny, it's really well done. And the fact that it was based on a true story is even makes it even more interesting. But it is top-notch talent and well filmed, a very good movie. And then if you like the shoot 'em up stuff, there's a lot of that, and it's a little bit A little bit over the top at some points, but still very well done. So it is definitely one that I would recommend if you for just a nice, you know,
So what's it on?
I forget what it's on. It was on my computer, so I watched it. Uh, but it is coming out to all streaming, and of course you can get it on Vudu. Well, Fandango is what it's called now, and you can also go find it on for purchase on Amazon. Then I decided, well, I went through a night of where I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to watch. So I went ahead and found a couple, went on Amazon and just searching. And I have been meaning to go see in the theater the Origin A Quiet Place film. But I've never seen one and two because I always thought that they were like more horror films. I like a good like action origin film, but anyway, so but A Quiet Place 1 and 2, they were on Amazon. I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna buckle down and watch them so that I know what's going on in the other one. They were really good. They weren't horror, they were suspense, great cast, good stories, well done, kept my interest the whole time. I wasn't even like doing other things at the same time. Um, really well done. What did you think of them? I thought you liked them.
Yeah, I enjoyed them, but they are horror, sci-fi horror.
Yeah, but to me that wasn't horror as much as it was more suspense and sci-fi. And that I'm monster movies. It was more of a monster movie to me, and that I'm fine with. I just like but Saw and stuff like that. I'm not. This is not my bag. Um. Anyway, so then I watched Supercell, which is 6 episodes on Netflix, and basically the storyline is in South London, a group of normal people who develop superpowers and are the only apparent connection between them are that they are black, which is very simplistic because actually it's because they have somebody in their family that has sickle cell anemia and blah blah blah. Rest or spoilers. Anyway, at as they deal with the impact of their powers on their daily lives, one man must bring them together, and that is so simplistic of an explanation. But it's the whole, the government's watching and they want to use their powers and blah blah blah. And um, this was a really good show in that it was well cast, it was well acted, it was well scripted. Um, and for the most part, very well done. And once they finally got into action, which really wasn't until halfway through episode 5, and then in episode 6, that was all really good. The rest of it was well done, but it was one of those things. It's too heavy for my taste. And I have to say that, premise it, my taste, it was too heavy on the gang action, like how dystopian in London can we go and make it where you're just like, oh my God, please, everybody just get the fuck out, get away from this shit. Anyway, but it was very gang heavy. And then finally, in episode like 5 and 6, they really finally got into more of the supernatural and the conspiracy stuff and what was going on. And then it got more of my interest. I did watch it on 1.5 speed, and I think that helped me get through the first part of it. But the first part of it was still really well done. Now, you tried to watch it and you didn't like it?
I didn't get it.
Okay.
I mean, they kind of spell out just what you were saying at the end of episode 1, but it's like, uh, I don't
Yeah.
care.
Well, and that's the thing is that I think that
And they're hour-long episodes too.
right, and I think for the average viewer who wants a good sci-fi story, they're not going to get hooked on for several episodes. I mean, like I said, I watched it at a faster speed, so it was easier for me to kind of get through. Um, Anyway, so then I finished up the week by watching Palm Royale, which is 10 episodes, season one. And it has, and the main reason is because I had several people, including Nephi, just say this is such a good series. You have to watch it. So I did. It stars Chris. Just a few of the cast members are Kristen Wiig, Ricky Martin, Laura Dern, Allison Janney, Carol Burnett, Bruce Dern, Julia Duffy, Mindy Kahn, and these are people that I just absolutely love. So I'll tell you though, the first two episodes, I don't like the whole kind of con job-ish type thing that this was setting up to be. I don't like that type of stuff. And I really had a hard time getting through those two episodes. But once it finally, and I think it's kind of a spoiler if I say too much more with that, but once I got past that and the show really kicked in and started going, it was fun. It was so fun and campy and just such a good cast and so many twists and turns, and you never know who's a good person and who's not and who's gonna F over this person for that thing. And yeah, really well done. So, and Ricky Martin is still looking really good. Really, really good.
I don't like Kristen Wiig. I've learned that now.
Really? I thought she
It
was
just
somebody that you liked.
no, I've
Okay.
never really liked her. I thought the character with little hands was funny, but that's a
Oh,
sight gag. The woman who's always has to be better than everybody else, hated that character. I hated the mother-in-law that does the aunt that does the movie reviews, and she doesn't know what she's talking about on the news. I hated that character. I'm trying to think of the other characters I hated. Well, it just pretty much anything she does, I don't like. I did. I mean, Bridesmaids. The one scene that always comes back that I hated in that show was when she's drunk on the plane, and I hated that scene. And I mean, it was, but everybody else was so good. It was hard to hate the movie over the one actress. But and this one, it's all her. It's just, I mean, I love the dancing around and the bitchy, manipulative bullshit that everyone's pulling, but I don't care because I wouldn't want her in my country club either.
yeah, and I understand that, and she has to play the well, she is the main character through almost all of it, but they do finally, after a few episodes, veer away from her into telling some of the other parts of the story. Um, so that adds more to it and really rounds out the series. But her very southern, whiny, one note, desperate does get old, especially by the time you're done with the series. You're just like, I could use a break from that character, but she still does a really good job for what she's doing. So, but
Yeah,
it is the cast that
it's
makes
called
the show.
producing is what she's doing. That's why she's in the show because she's the producer.
Well, then
Um,
she made a good choice
and
that
then I did like the character, Allison Jennings' character when they're in the shop on the second episode and they're buying clothes and she's trying
Mhm.
to buy the same clothes as Allison Jennings, and finally when Allison Jennings leaves, she has on this outfit, and the way they did her hair, she looked like Agnes Moorehead as Endora in
Yeah.
Bewitched. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, and then I was talking to another podcaster, and he was talking about, well, the time period, and I go, well, that's true.
Mhm.
The time period, a woman in her 60s might be dressing like Agnes Moorehead, who was an
Yes.
actress in her 60s. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing is that they do a good job with the time period too. But there is a lot of really good stuff, and the cast again, and especially I love that they're taking people like Julia Duffy and Mindy Kahn and Carol Burnett, who we're not getting a lot of, or we're choosing not to do a lot, in Carol Burnett's case, and giving them like just these juicy, fun, really, really good roles. So anyway, I recommend it if you like camp. Get past the first two episodes and enjoy the run. So, all right. Well, let's do some advice here. And of course, this one is a condensed version of Am I the Asshole?
Oh, I know. I've got the answer.
Uh-huh. Well, you're gonna like this one.
Okay.
I am friends with this girl in the same friend group. She's a devout Christian, and I have no problem
Okay.
with this.
She's the asshole.
Yeah. Her religious expression, it was very normal, and like, wearing a cross necklace and adding Bible verses to her socials, etc. Well, the issue came when she would
Unfriend.
the issue came when she would show up to the lunch table with a Bible and kept reminding us how God is great. She also made a separate Instagram account dedicated to the Bible and telling other people how to live a holy life. She even had her own
Wait,
Christian
what do they do
podcast
with
at
all?
one point.
Does all the life slip out because it's holy?
I think so, probably.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. At one point, she was ranting about how offensive it was for people to wear things like cross jewelry if they weren't Christian, or how horrible Jesus Christ Superstar was. Well, I told her that while religious beliefs were fine, we were getting tired of her bringing Jesus, God, and the Bible into every single conversation. I also said that the musical is a medium to explore the humanity of Jesus, because he was human like us. She got offended and asked me, "Are you suggesting you're better than Jesus?" And then I told her, "Jesus loves you, but he wants you to shut the fuck up." I then told her that her level of devoutness was ridiculous and that she didn't need to make her Christianness her entire personality. I also told her that she was always acting like she was better than us because she practiced her Christianity a lot. She wasn't she hasn't talked to me since. My friends agree that her behavior was extremely weird. However, my inner self is feeling like the sarcasm swearing was over the top. Am I the asshole?
Um, kind of.
Hmm.
Only because
Christians can't handle it.
no. It's like if she bothers you that much, write her off. Don't just it felt like she really wanted to tell her off one last time, and it successfully worked. So in that case, she's a little bit of the asshole. But let's face it, it was her name Jessica. Is that
Yeah.
I agree that just yeah. It's not that her behavior is extremely weird, because we've known plenty of people like this, but it's just like, if you don't want to be around that, move on. Even though if and if none of your friends, cut her out.
Yeah.
I've had a person like this, and I cut her out. I was tired of her bullshit, listening to it, but I didn't take the time to make her
Tell her
feel
off,
bad.
feel bad about it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, they're both assholes, but for different reasons.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, obviously, I know plenty of Christian people who are very good, accepting, very kind people that don't talk about their religion every 5 seconds. And the ones that do are the ones that just like my uncle and his family. It's like every sentence out of their mouth is God, God this, Jesus, the Bible. You know what I did down there? I built that thing. And you know what it says on there? It says, may everybody that cross over this be accepting of the word and it's just like, okay, we get it. Enough. If you're that fragile that you have to keep reminding us that that's your thing, you got a problem. Just saying. Anyway, so yeah, you didn't need to do all that. So maybe a little assholeless, but definitely understand why you did it.
It definitely provoked.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Chubs, Timothy wants to know, what's your favorite weird smell? Tom likes to check his balls. No?
I was waiting for you.
Oh, for me, okay. There we had an old Ford truck, and you know the smell of exhaust. I actually like the smell of exhaust fumes from like old vehicles, but my mom used to get really mad at me. She'd be like, "You kill yourself doing that." I'm
Well,
like,
you know
"Yeah."
what you should try sometime. Get your mom's keys and a hose, and then you put a hose in the exhaust and
Hmm.
the other end of the hose into the car, roll up the windows and start it up. And
Well,
then
that's
you
really
really get
nice.
to
That's
enjoy it.
very thoughtful for you. Now,
Yeah.
all of our listeners know how you want me to kill myself.
I was, what do you mean?
Dear, am
It's
I
just,
the asshole? Let me tell you about my friend Tom.
so mine would be pot. I love smelling pot.
Okay.
Like when I come out of the gym and there's this barber shop that's in the same mall area, and
Hmm.
whenever someone's sitting out in front of the barber shop, they're smoking weed. So when I get out of the gym, it's like, oh, oh, where's that coming from? Oh, that's the barber shop again. So yeah, that's
Well,
mine.
why don't you get a big old thing of weed and set it on fire and stick your head in a pot of it.
Oh,
Take
that's
a
a good
deep
idea.
breath. Yeah.
Actually, they have this. They have masks that yeah, like oxygen masks, not oxygen, like what is it when there's like bombs going off and then they always have the big army mask things.
Hmm.
They have one of those
Gas
that
mask.
has that you can light that you can smoke pot through it. So as you can, it's on you, and so that's all you're breathing is just the thing. So that would be fun. You're right. Thank you.
That's crazy. Okay, hey Chubbs, Timothy wants to know what chain restaurant is most likely to be in hell? In-N-Out Burger. Oh, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Yeah, because it's already crappy, and then you have to read their weird slogans and shit. So,
Well, and know that they're supporting taking away my rights and well the rights of at least 50% of the population. So
pretty much,
yeah,
yeah. Although
yeah,
they swear they don't do it anymore, but they lie. All
they
right, hey
lie.
Chubbs, Timothy wants to know, have you ever gone through a partner's phone? Tell the truth.
No, I'm asked. You go first.
Oh, me? No. Well, I haven't really had a partner that, for and anyone that I would date, no, but I wouldn't want them to go through my phone, so I don't think I would do that. Mm-mm.
I
I'm
mean,
not that kind of person.
I will say that when my when my free fall, when I used up all my credits on free fall on both my phone and my iPad, then I would go in and play his game while
Okay.
mine go. But honestly, I don't if I don't want I don't want to know what weirdness he's got going on. And it's the same way I don't want him to know what weirdness I've got going on.
Yeah.
It's basically what you said. It's like, no, there's no doing that is asking for more weirdness.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Timothy, so much for that. And if you want to send in your Chubbs Gone Wild questions, just send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. And that means it's time for the moose moment. Moment of moose.
Please tell me what they are. I have to know now.
All right. Well, what's in your lunchbox? I got drafted to bake rum cakes for a neighborhood gathering. How do I
Uh,
get sucked into these things? Cakes in the oven. And so you send a picture of cakes in the oven, and then right out of the oven, these rum cakes are ready for the glaze. Oh, moose's glaze. Anyway, they look amazing. They look
yeah.
really amazing. You did a really good job with that. And no, I don't get sucked into doing those things. Every once in a while, I try to be a little creative for a potluck or something, but I am done with that. I am taking like a fruit bowl or a veggie tray that I pick up at the store from now on. I am not trying anything anymore. I'm just done with it because
Wait, your dump. What about your
most of the
dump
people that I
cake?
go to potlucks for are ungrateful bitches who just treat whatever I bring like crap. So
That is
fuck
not
it.
true. That is not
Oh,
true.
girl,
You said the dump cake was
girl.
terrible, not
I did
me.
not. No, it was terrible the day after it congealed, but the day of it was really delicious. But
Oh,
you know
okay.
what? Only a few people. Clint took a lot of it. That was good. Everybody
But
else,
I don't eat sweets like
oh,
that. I don't. I didn't have any of the pie either. But I would have had a piece of Moose's rum cake because I do
oh
love
no,
rum cake.
you don't eat sweets.
I
Yeah,
don't. I don't normally.
you
I
drink
really don't.
alcohol though. So,
Okay, what does that mean?
well, that means it's a rum cake.
Okay, so
Yeah,
so the alcohol it wins out over the sweets.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
Uh, all right. Hey, Golden Rule Services want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org and find Tom's other
Wait.
podcast.
I want to mention something.
Yeah.
Have you noticed this? I don't know what is it called, Blue Chew or something like that. That's on Facebook right now, where young people are getting basically Viagra, I guess, or Cialis or something, and to make their sex life even better. And I'm thinking, if you need fucking Cialis or Viagra and you're in your 20s, then you need it, but you shouldn't need it. I'm just really surprised. I'm really surprised how much. I mean, I get all the prep ones,
Yeah.
all the different kind of prep things that are out there right now, but I don't understand why. And they're really playing it to the heterosexual young man.
Hmm.
If you really want to please this woman, then you need to take this, and they're probably charging it. I haven't checked the prices, but I guarantee you it's an arm and a leg for each
Yes.
dosage that they have.
Uh,
So check that out and see what you think.
it's funny that you mentioned that. Peripherally, I do now remember seeing some ad like that, but I see shit like that and I just scroll past it.
Right.
But now that you mention it, I do remember seeing something like that.
And I'm just, is this a problem maybe
Yeah, I
for
didn't even
younger
notice that
men?
it was really, pushed toward younger guys. But I do know, like, I have another friend that is like, well, I'm going to have an adventurous weekend. So they take a pill or something like at the beginning of the weekend and it lasts several days. Like,
That's probably
not
the
constantly hard, but like
right.
you can
You're
get hard
ready.
much
It gives you,
easily.
yeah. I think that's the Cialis
Okay.
that lasts over a few days, and I'm sure they're getting to the point of where they're regulating this to be whatever you need it to be. If you
Mm.
just, but it's just weird. And the other thing, and the other commercial that I've noticed that's interesting is selling your plasma. Have you seen those?
I did see something about that. Yeah.
And what's interesting is they're always the model in the thing is always a black man.
Huh. I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Which I thought, what are you trying to get young black men to sell their blood?
Huh.
I don't know. It's weird. It's interesting. I'm not making a judgment here, but I think it's very interesting who they're advertising to.
Well, and it could also be an algorithm that's pushing certain things toward,
Of course, me.
well, yeah. Well, I mean, different zip codes and different things like that, and they'll push different types of
Okay,
thing
I can see
ads
that.
for
I
different
can see
things.
that.
So,
Okay, that at least makes sense. I
yeah,
do live in a very diverse neighborhood, as you do. So
right. So anyway, interesting. Okay. Well, find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com and find my books at justkisstheguy.com and find all of our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. And you can always give us a call at
408 69 Chubs. Sorry.
like
I
Mr.
just
Reed
found
did.
I just found out that my Viagra is coming due again. So
Oh,
CVS just let me know.
well,
On the subject, I thought it'd
nice.
be, kind of
Might as well look
interesting
it
to throw
up,
out
huh?
there. Yeah.
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 Cool.
Great.
Right. Well, with that, we will catch you next week. And thank you so much for listening and for tuning in and your love. We will catch you next time. Bye.
Love you.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.